just quickly prepare by putting starting by putting the yarn on my finger like that. Those of you who are new to my channel, this is how I secure and hold my yarn while I crochet. And as a self-taught person, this is just how I learned to do it from the get-go. Okay, now that you have it like that, you're going to start by doing a magic circle. And to do that, you just go around your finger like that. Take the yarn out of your finger, put the hook through, yarn over, bring it through, and that's your magic circle. So it's pretty much like that. Here we're going to chain up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And just FYI, it's important to keep holding this space here open. You can either put your finger through or you can just hold it like this. That's how I do it. Now that you have your chain 4, we're going to do a triple crochet in this big gap here. So triple crochet, you yarn over once, you yarn over twice, you end up with 3 loops on the hook. You go through your magic circle space, you yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over one more time, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Okay, so that's a triple crochet there. Okay, and this chain 4 that we started this project with is your first, it's going to count as your first triple crochet. And then I just did 1 right now, and we're going to do 5 more because we need 7 total. Now that you have 7, what I usually recommend at this point is try to pull the strand that's hanging to close off the space that you have, just like that. Okay, so you just pull it to close it. And don't tie or don't knot it or anything, just leave it like that, because in case you need to kind of make it loose, you can. But so now that we're here, this is the first row. On the second row, we're going to start by doing chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work over. And then in this very space, the very first space here, you're going to do 2 treble crochets in the same gap. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, and then in the next 2 spaces you're going to do 2 more treble crochets. So that's 1 in the first space and second in the third space right here. Okay, now that you have that, you have to go with 2 more treble crochets in this same gap here. Okay, and then chain 1 and then 2 more in the same space. So that's 1 and 2, and then you chain 1. Oh, actually no, you chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. I don't know where I came up with chain 1 from, but anyways, I was probably working on something else earlier. Now you have chain 3. You do 2 more treble crochets in the same space. So that's 1. Oops, and 2. Okay, so there you go. And then the next 2 spaces, you do 1 treble crochet in each of the space. So 1 and 2. Okay, just like that. And then for the final 3 treble crochets in this row, we're going to put 2 in this gap at the end here. So this gap that we created by doing a chain 4 in the previous row, we're going to do 2, chain 1, and then you do 1 more. Maybe that's why I came with chain 1, why I came up with the chain 1. So 1, 2, chain up 1, and then 1 more treble crochet in that space, just like so. Okay, so I will show you what we have so far. Okay, so this is what you have so far. Let's put it on the ground like that. So that is pretty much how you can see start to shape up like this, starting to shape up like this, and this will start to kind of make itself go flatter as you work along like that. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to chain 5. So chaining 5 at the end is going to be what you keep doing pretty much all throughout this project. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work over. Okay, and in this very first space here, okay, you're going to do 2 triple crochets, just like we did in the previous row. So 1 and 2. So you do 2 in the same gap, like that. Okay, and then what you're going to do next is you're going to do a triple crochet in each space until you get to the middle. You're going to do 2 triple crochets in the big gap, this gap here. Triple crochets right here, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more in the same big gap in the middle. So 1 and 2. Oops, there. Okay, and then you're going to do 1 each all the way to the end. So we have 1 more just right here, and then we're going to do 2 in this big gap. As I said earlier, it's the gap where you did your chain 5 at the beginning of the previous row, and then you chain 1 and then 1 more. These are very easy and basic way to do a shawl. It's not too complicated. You're not doing too many different stitches within the same project. Okay, so as you can see, so I'll show you guys. So this is our row 3, and this is how it looks like. Go ahead and work. It will probably take you a while, whether it's days, weeks, whatever it is. Pause the video. Probably best to subscribe so that you don't lose this video in the process, or save it so that you can come back and I show you how to do the borders. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more rows with this, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to finish your project with borders. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my friends, so this is where you should be, or in your case, well, this is where I am, because I'm only doing a sample for this tutorial. I have just completed a very small part of the shawl, and I will show you guys how to do the border, and then you can go ahead and do a full. So if you're here, it's because you have literally finished the size of your shawl and you're coming back to do the bordering of it. Okay, now at the end here where you did your 2 triple crochets in the same space at the end, and then chain 1 and then 1 more triple crochet. After that you chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. You turn your work over, and then you do, in this space here, you do 3 double crochets in that same space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And like we did before, the chain of anything, we count it as a double crochet. So in this case here, the chain 5 counted as a triple crochet. And in this case, because triple crochets are a little bit longer in length than a double crochet, and because it's a double crochet, we only did a chain 3. Okay, so, and then from there you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go into not the first chain space, or not the first space, not the second, but the third, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets in that space. So that's 1, 2, oops, I hope I did not go off camera there for a second, and 3. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're going to continue to do all along here. Okay, so I am at the end here, and you may have paused the video much longer to do the full length of your shawl, but because it's a small sample, I'm already there. And what you will do in the middle part here is you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets in this big gap in the middle, and then you're going to chain, oops, one second, let me just finish this. I keep trying to do triple crochet because that's what I've been doing for the project. Okay, then you chain 1, 2, 3, and then you do 3 more double crochets in that same space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you're just creating that corner because you want to keep the corner there. That's what you're doing in that corner. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to 1, 2, 3 chains, and like we did on this side, we skipped 1, and you're going to do the same on this side. So you're going to skip 1, and on this second one here you're going to do 3 double crochets in that same space. Okay, and then you're going to chain 3, and then 1, 2, and in the third spot you're going to do 3 double crochets in the same space, just like so. Okay, so as you can see, this is how it looks like. Okay guys, so you should have now completed doing these borders pretty much in these first sides of your shawl. And if you're here now, okay, I'm going to show you guys how to then transition and move along the bottom side. Okay, now that we're here, okay, we're going to do like the same thing we did, which is 3 chains, and then in this spot here we're going to do 4 this time because we did 4 double crochets here total, including the chain. Okay, so that's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so our corners have 4, everything else in between has 3, skip 3 spaces, 3, skip 3 spaces with a chain 3 in between. Now that we're here, I did my 4 double crochets in that big gap, which is to match these 4 double crochets I did this gap. Okay, and then now we're going to work down this area here, and how we do that is we pretty much go from there to doing single crochets right in here. Okay, so you do a few single crochets, oops, in this gap here. So we'll do 3, and then you're going to move to doing 3 here, oops, single crochet, there you go. So 2 and 3, and then I skip to the very next gap here. So these gaps that we have, which was our chain 5 all along the project, are going to be where we're working with on this side. Okay, so you don't have to worry about going between chains or anything like that. All you have to worry about is just looking for these gaps here and then doing your single crochets in these gaps. Okay, and you don't do anything in between, so just go straight after you do your 3 single crochets in one space, go straight to the next space and do 3 single crochets, and then go straight to the next gap, do 3 single crochets, and you continue to do these until you get to the middle, which is this part here. And when you get to this part here, you're not going to do too much. You're going to just try to find the very middle space here, which is, if you left it a little bit loose, this probably helps. But you can always, because you did not make a knot, you could always just start to go in there. So we're gonna go into that very middle space here and do 1 single crochet in there, and then you move right to the next gap next to it and do your 3 single crochets, just like so. And as you can see, I'm bringing the strand that started off our foundation chain along with me, and it's another way to weave in that yarn. So you don't have to worry about weaving it in later. Okay, so because I'm taking it along with me, which is part of weaving it in. Okay, so and then you do your 3 single crochets in the next gap here. Okay, like that. Okay, and then we have not too much here, so there's 1 more gap, and we're going to do 3 more single crochets in that final gap. Okay, and then when you get to this space here, you're just going to find the bottom, the very bottom chain from the beginning through chain 3 from when we started to do the borders, and you're going to go into that bottom chain and do a slip stitch like that. Okay, so I'm going to end my project here. So this is pretty much how your project would look like. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a bump here. It's not bad, there's nothing too big, it's not like a very straight line, but that's okay. Like you don't have to have a very straight line there. So this is how your project looks like. So if assume this is the full size shawl, this is how your shawl would look like. So if you have been doing this as a full size shawl, you will see that it's much bigger than this, obviously, and that's the shape that it should have. Okay, so it looks just like that. So this is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this little tiny project with me. In your case, would be a much bigger project because you're making a full shawl. But it's very nice. It's very loose, and it's very stretchy depending on what kind of guess yarn you get. But because you did these treble crochets, it's very stretchy, and it's actually really nice. The color is awesome because it's very nice fall dark chocolate almost color, and has like some reddish tone to it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed making this with me. If you want to see more projects from me in the future, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any more videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, ciao.